Stretching and mobility. There's a lot of confusion around stretching and when to do it, why to do it, how long to do it. A dynamic warm-up is something that has proven to be a better method of preventing injury and staying mobile than static stretching. So dynamic warm-up is something that is basically stretching with movement, whereas static stretching is holding a stretch, for 30, 40 seconds. Mobility really refers to less of the flexibility of the muscle, but more the range of motion. The greater range of motion you have in a muscle, the greater ability you have to get strength in there. Self-myofascial foam roll is, it's basically like massaging. So anytime you get a massage or you do any kind of self-myofascial release technique, which could be using a lacrosse ball or putting a barbell against your shoulder, that's going to help with range of motion. So a dynamic warm-up is something that would be done before a workout. It helps to promote relaxation and it brings blood flow to the area. So once there's blood flow, there's warmth, and that's when you can really work deeper into a muscle. Static stretching, there's a lot of controversy on time and if it's needed. There's studies from 30 seconds to 6 minutes. But I like to use static stretching after a workout when you're warm, preferably an easy workout. And addressing specific areas. So this is one of my favorite stretches here. It's called a couch stretch. So you can do it against a couch, but a lot of people can't even get in that position. And if you can't, start by getting into it and framing your foot with your hands. And if that's still too difficult, then you can take your leg off of the box and start there. But it's a nice goal with some static stretching to have a goal where you say, okay, I'd like to be able to get in that position and work up to it. So mobility again is something, it's quite similar to a dynamic warm-up that I like to do before a strength session, and you focus on personal issues. So are you somebody who has a tight T-spine, which is that T shape on your back? Is it hip flexors? So we're looking here, this is gonna help alleviate, niggles and help with efficiency. So self-myofascial release technique, like we talked about, something to do before you run or any time. It's a nice idea to do, a total body 30 minutes a couple times a week. And it basically helps to turn off overactive muscles and release soft tissue adhesions from trauma. What is a good way to warm up when it's cold? Because being cold, it can be the culprit to a lot of issues and really increase tightness. So if it's really cold outside, make sure you drink or eat something warm so your core is warm. And layer appropriately. A hat and gloves are always the number one. Your body is normally going to send blood flow to your core to keep you warm because of your organs. So put on a hat, put on gloves, and you can always take those off. You can overdress when you go inside and then peel off a layer right before you go. Couple of minutes of jumping jacks, some dynamic warm-ups, some mobility. Inside always helps.